Hello and welcome to the Pixel Scandal Nerdcast, episode 30. Fucking 30, y'all.
Yeah.
Episode
Dirty 30.
30.
Get it.
That's 3 times 10 if you're counting. Or
Pixel
other.
Scandal, now educational.
Yeah. Technically, we had 2 special episodes, so it's our 32nd in the feed. And we had an episode 0.
Oh, yeah.
But this is episode 30.
Woohoo! And that's Kurt.
We did it. I'm Kurt. That's who I am.
Nightson.
Okay, and I'm Handor. You guys are awful, man. I swear. It's on the thing.
Say ahead of time.
Yay!
Where?
It's in the show doc every week in the
Every
same
week.
place.
Not gonna lie, it's been a journey, y'all.
It's been a rough half hour leading up to getting on here. But hey, Kurt, where can people find us on the internet?
I don't know, Gigett, you forgot to introduce yourself.
I said Gigett. I was like Gigett. There was like
Literally,
hands.
you do not exist, and everything you said
There were
previous
some
doesn't
jazz
count.
hands and everything.
There were jazz hands and everything.
Were there really jazz hands and I
Yes.
missed it? Okay. Well, if people want to be able to see jazz hands like the fabulous ones that I missed earlier, they can head over to pixelscandal.com and find out all sorts of information about this show. If you'd like
There's so many jazz hands on the website.
So many jazz hands. If you'd like
There's
to watch,
probably none.
yeah, if you'd like to watch live and see the jazz hands in real time, you can do so by going to twitch.tv/pixelscandal. That's where it's live.
Actually, there's like an 8-second delay, but
Yeah, well,
It's
close
fine.
enough.
It's fine.
And if you'd like to watch recordings or VODs, you can see those on our videos on Twitch, or you can head over to our YouTube and just go to YouTube and search Pixel Scandal, because we don't have a vanity URL yet.
Yet.
And yeah, and if you'd like to contact the show to be like, why don't you have a YouTube vanity URL? That's a pretty easy thing to get. What's the problem?
Or, hey, Kurt, quit being lame and see all of Gidget's awesome jazz hands.
Yeah, you can email pixelscandal@gmail.com and you can tell me I suck. But first you have to go make a $5 donation
for
At
to
the Rainbow Road.
Railroad.
yeah,
Well, awesome.
Which is not a Mario Kart Ticket to Ride crossover.
Yeah.
not.
And if you're like, I don't give a crap about all these jazz hands, I just want this sweet, sweet audio feed. Well, you can get that audio feed on iTunes or Spotify by searching Pixel Scandal Nerdcast.
Yep.
And if you do that, give us a review, because we don't have any. Well, we have some, but not enough for it to actually show up. So go give us a review.
We
would
need
really
more.
appreciate it. It helps.
Well, awesome. So our spotlight topic later on in the show, after we're done bullshitting, is going to be on mods in video games. So we're going to talk about mods and which ones we love and which ones we hate and why they exist. But first, Nightson, do we have any announcements?
No, moving on.
Wouldn't that be great if that was the answer to that question?
This is why I don't look at
Nope.
the show doc, because now I have to scroll down past all these announcements.
So tomorrow night we're going to be doing our Sunday night game night, or Sunday game. We need a proper name for that or something.
It's just the
Gidget
Sunday
and I
game
will-
night.
It's our Sunday game night.
it doesn't matter if you say Sunday night game night. It's still
It's okay. It's okay.
it works, man.
You can
I
say
don't like
all
it.
the game nights.
It should be Sunday game parentheses night.
Sure.
Sure.
And then
You want
And
like
then
a
in
you want
double
like
parentheses,
Yeah.
sun. And then the triple parentheses, X. And then 3 closing parentheses. And that's
want
how you
something
write
like-
a proper formula.
you want something as iconic as like Monday Night Football. Monday.
that
No?
may be taken. I'll have to look.
Yeah.
So anyways, Gidget and I are going to try a escape room. Let me get the name of it. Adjuvatorium. I found it on an indie website. It may
Oh,
go
geez.
horrible. It might work. We don't know.
We
Hey,
will see.
FYI, we support indie games, so that's why, because that's so
Totes.
we. Support
Ajuvator,
us.
isn't that
Support
a
us 'cause
sauce
we-
you dip sandwiches in?
It may well be, but it's also a video game.
All right.
So we'll take a look at it and go from there.
The jus.
The jus sauce.
It sounds delicious.
On Tuesday, we will releasing my next episode of Hitman 2. I don't
What's
know.
the title of that?
I think I landed on celebrity tattoo artist ?
Nice.
Okay.
Which is interesting because when I went to go, because I'm curious that sounds like that's not really a thing, and then I typed it into Google just to get spelling of make sure I didn't screw up like any tattoo.
Yeah.
I can't spell.
There's two T's in the middle.
Yeah. Apparently it is a thing, and there's a lot of people who talk about celebrity tattoo artists. So, the more you know.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, are they like actual tattoo artists whose work is just so good that they've become celebrities at it, or are they celebrities first who just picked up a tattoo gun and went to town on somebody?
There's a very different,
Just
there's a
went
very
down.
different celebrity tattoo artists.
It was just like, yeah, it looks like crap. But
I'll be honest,
Chuck Norris did it, so it's cool.
Yeah, I'll be more interested in the second category, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck Norris
On
takes-
other
just
people's
takes over-
bodies,
yeah.
though. Like, I want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
his work on other people. I'm not going to volunteer to get tattooed by Chuck Norris.
No. And then on Thursday, we may be releasing the new game from Handor and Endo. It's going to be Shards of Darkness.
There's
It is a
D
co-op
in that
stealth game.
shard.
Yeah, I enunciated.
This time.
This time.
Good
I
time.
can learn.
Shards of Darkness, isn't that?
Shards of darkness.
And,
will be-
I think they'll have it out. We're having some technical difficulties, so it may be this week, it may be next. We will have to see. Our next Dungeon World game, we'll finally get back to that again, will be December 8th at 9 a.m. And
Woohoo.
one of these days, I will bash Kurt over the head with a hockey stick, and he'll wake up at 10, and we'll just start at 10.
I think it's funny that he thinks Kurt's the one that decided that.
Oh.
But if he's unconscious,
Then we can't
It
start till
doesn't
10.
matter.
Exactly.
and then we're gonna have today we had our very first side quest in Tales of the Loop, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But this is the perfect time to announce our very next one, and it is going to be on December 29th at 9 a.m. And I believe we have a video. Yeah.
We do. So I will roll the video, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Here we go. I think if I can figure this out, I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to roll the video. All right. We had a video.
Yay!
We know how to do things.
We do
Look at us.
promos for cool
Running
shit now.
promos.
So
Because Oreztes is super good at that.
the long and short, if you don't believe in watching things, is that it is Demigods, a Powered by the Apocalypse hack,
Yes.
written and ran by Mr. Jason Mills.
Yay! I'm super
I-
That'd be
excited.
so good.
I believe the
very
basic-
excited.
I have not played. I will be playing, but I believe the basic premise is that you are all the scions of a various gods, and you are the half mortals. Like Hercules, but a lot more modern and not as
Rapey?
Lame.
Hated?
rapey.
Well, I mean, Hercules was a little. Never mind.
Was Hercules rapey?
Kevin
I've never,
Sorbo, say it
I've
ain't
never-
so.
What's the... I'm...
Never mind. Anyway,
I'm just- yeah,
Demigods.
anyway.
Super excited. Both Nightson and I sat out of today's first side quest, so I'm super excited that we get to play in the next one.
Yeah.
Yay!
My favorite thing about Demigods is the science pantheon. Because all of the pantheons in Demigods are created by human belief, by the power of human faith. And so there are enough people who believe that science is true that don't understand the underlying principles that a science pantheon of deities became a thing. And so you can be the child of, mathematics.
Physics.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love the idea that they would hate themselves.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe in like gods and things, but now they exist because of other people's beliefs.
Yeah.
Believies.
They hate their existence, but cannot deny the evidence of their existence.
Yeah, that's so great. I love it so much.
It's so
and
good.
Jason is super awesome and amazing, so I'm
Yeah, he
very
is.
excited that he gets to come run for us. Yay!
Woo.
So cool. That is all of our announcements. Let's move into what we're excited about. Obviously, we just played our teaser video, which was super awesome and amazing, which we were all very excited about. So who's got the first thing up there on the we're excited about?
So, they are. Orson Scott Card is finally, after like 300 years, finally started writing the final book of the Ender series.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what J.R.R. Martin has started, but it seems every author that I care about lately has been like, you know what? I'll wait 5 years between books because who's going to stop me?
Yep.
And so he's finally put pen to paper. Probably not, but keyboard to text file, and has released a preliminary chapter or two.
Nice.
So
that's
I
awesome.
hope it's not a text file. That's a horrible format to write a book in.
maybe.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So is that next one you, Oreztes?
No.
No, it's still me. I tossed this one in because there was absolutely nothing in there, and we didn't. I forgot to mention this last week. Final Fantasy had their fan expo 2 weeks ago in Vegas, and they announced the long-awaited Blue Mage,
Yay, Blue
which
Mage.
is both super awesome and
That's what you
super
guys have been-
terrible.
And super weird.
Why is it
So you
terrible?
guys have been hyping it in Discord so long.
So here's the deal. Imagine that in WoW, because you're familiar with WoW, they decided they're going to release a new class, but that class isn't allowed to group with anybody.
Aw.
It
What?
can't do Dungeon Finder. It can't do raids. In fact, it can't level higher than Classic
Yet.
yet.
What are they, like beta testing in a live game, a character?
So the official excuse,
That sounds what it
quote,
sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is what it sounds like.
is that Blue Mage is a long-standing, even though it hasn't been called Blue Mage every time, but it's a long-standing class in the Final Fantasy series in which they learn abilities by monsters punching them in the head with it.
Mm.
Oh.
So they are you hit me, I learned this, and I'm going to hit you right back with it.
Oh.
That's what's his name? The villain, like the only dude that they say can supposedly be Deadpool. I cannot remember his name.
Jesus.
No.
Not a very good villain.
Comic book character. I cannot
From
remember his
Deadpool's
name.
perspective, he might be.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's all about an amalgamation of just random cool abilities, and they have said, A, it's going to be way too much of a nightmare to balance
Yeah.
to make them actually viable in a group setting, and B, because they want to keep to the core of you go out, you hunt, you go, I want to go learn Goblin Punch.
Mm.
You need to go out into the world and have goblins punch you. And
Okay.
then you learn the ability.
How quickly do you learn these abilities, and how?
It depends. Like usually there's a percentage chance every time it's used on you kind of thing. But
Okay.
and who knows how they'll actually set it up, but it is a very different mechanic than any of the other classes, which learn abilities as they level up or through quests.
Right.
So
That's a very different mechanic, if I'm not mistaken, Nightson, than pretty much any MMO we've ever.
yeah, and that's why people have been clamoring for this class forever, because it is such a unique
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the excuse why Square Enix doesn't want them to be able to queue for the Duty Finder, because there's no guarantee that a level 50 Blue Mage is going to have all of the abilities known. So they don't want to put the burden on the other 3 people in the group to kind of carry this guy who's like, yeah, I know how to use 1,000 needles, and that's literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Now,
makes sense.
what's funny though is I'm hoping, because right now it's basically completely segregated content. It is, you're going to go do this. You can do pre-formed groups up to level 50, but you can't do the random dungeon finder, so can't get the bonus XP and whatnot. But then they have this carnival of something, which is like their end game. So it's my hope that they're going to use this as a, let's see how it goes, and maybe make it legitimate later. I'd love to see them use it as an opportunity to actually have a tri-class, a tank healer or DPS. If you have ability X, Y, and Z equipped, you can queue as tank. If you have A, B, C, you can queue as healer. That kind of thing.
I would love to see a blue mage as a tank.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool. Well, cool. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds really neat.
I will definitely be bringing more updates as they come, because I have been excited about it forever.
I will totally be resubbing once it comes out, so I can be the part of that 4-man preformed party with Nightson.
Of all blue mages?
Of all blue mages.
Blue Mage X4.
I'm gonna be Scholar. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm gonna go blue mage. I mean, if we're starting from scratch, I might as well.
You guys have fun. I'm going Scholar.
Well, I gotta have someone heal me while I get punched by goblins for 20 minutes until I learn it.
Scholar is the best healer, so we'll just all walk around as blue mages and get healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have the fairy heal you, and I'll start casting broil on you when you're not looking. Learn that too.
All right, so moving right
Awesome.
along.
Well,
I have to assume. Hang on, wait
No,
one
yeah,
second.
go
I
ahead.
assume you getting healed. Don't you learn to heal?
Well, if you could find an enemy who would heal you, maybe.
Yeah, it has to be an enemy.
it has to be an enemy.
Yeah, but if he's
PvP.
casting broil, isn't that
Maybe.
damaging?
Who knows? We'll see.
Broil is a
There's a lot of question marks how they're going to do it.
All right,
Cool.
moving on. Sorry.
No, yeah, that was that was an interesting question.
I
hadn't
feel
thought
like it
about
would
that
be
either.
really boring if you could have players cast spells on you to learn them, because then it's just blue mage looking for this X spell,
Right.
paying
Meet
5
at Moose Rock for
gil, standing in
Moose Rock.
thing. Please cast your spells on me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so for anyone that doesn't know, Oreztes and I are best friends in IRL. And we went on an adventure today, an ear piercing adventure.
An
So-
ear-piercing adventure.
An ear piercing adventure. Yeah, we did. We totally got matching piercings. Not really matching, but we got piercing. It's the same ring. We have the same earring. But that's the thing I'm excited about. So I suffer from migraines, and I have had a migraine for 7 days because I get awful headaches. And I've been hearing a lot about a thing called a daith piercing, and I am a woman of science. I do not subscribe to holistic medicine properties and things of that such. But Kurt reminded me of something today when I was whining and didn't want to go get it done. What is it that you say, Kurt? What do you call holistic medicine that works?
Oh yeah, what do you call a home remedy that works? You call it medicine.
You call it medicine. So a bunch of friends
That
of
is
mine.
a fact.
That is a fact, right? Like once it's proven that it works, they're like, cool, this is now a medical procedure.
This is now medicine.
And this is now medicine.
Yeah.
So I had several friends who suffer from migraines who had been telling me to go get this piercing done. My primary doctor had said, hey, you might want to go try doing this piercing thing. I hate needles. So does Oreztes. We hates them a lot.
Yep.
And so being the good best friend that he is, he and Kurt and Mrs. Oreztes kidnapped me and took me up to the piercing place. And I now don't have a migraine. So that is the thing that I'm super excited about because we went on piercing adventure today.
Yay.
Very cool. Very
And
good.
I now have an extra hole in my head, and I only passed out once.
That was really funny to watch.
Yeah,
Oh my
I have
god.
100% success rate on the pass out when I get my ears pierced now.
I want to make
Two for
fun of
two.
you, but I know that I would get roasted for bullying, so I
Dude,
won't do that.
it's
And I'm
fine.
better
You
than
could-
that.
You could totally make fun. I woke up and I was like, "Oh, I took a nap."
He did. He totally
And
said,
then the
"Did I
guy-
take a nap?"
He's like, did I fall asleep?
Inadvertent power naps.
And he was like, it was like his voice was a little off, and then he did his passing out, and then he wakes up, and he was like back to normal, completely back to normal. He goes,
Yeah.
did I take a nap or did I fall asleep?
Yeah, it was.
It's like nothing.
What was funny though is like you made a face that didn't look real. It didn't look like someone passing out. Like your eyes went a little like droopy and then rolled back into your head, and you went completely white. And Mrs. Oreztes was standing there like, "Oh God," and like caught your head because you kind of like fell over into her. And we were like, "Oh God, this is real!" Like because it didn't look. It didn't
That's
look real.
crazy.
And he's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
We were
I
like,
was a little nervous for a second.
and then you kind of twitched and we're like, oh my God, is he having a seizure? Like it was kind
Yeah.
of scary. I was a little panicky.
Being a home health aide, that to me, I would have been like freaking out.
The
They
tattoo,
brought me gummy bears.
the tattoo
I
guy,
got gummy bears.
the piercing guy totally came out from behind the counter with like a glass of water and some gummy bears and was like, here you go, man. And like gave them to you.
That's
and
all it takes.
a bear. That's what I said. I'm like, oh, I didn't get gummy bears for my piercing.
Yeah.
Have you ever given? Have you ever
Lab,
given
got some
blood,
gummy bears.
Oreztes?
No. Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right.
Me
I
neither.
don't even get a shot at the doctor's office.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that is something we totally have in common.
Yeah.
No needles, as much as humanly possible.
I love watching them do that. I watch them put it in and everything.
No, I was
No.
like, I don't want to see it. I'm not gonna look. Just do the thing. So yeah, that's the thing
I was
I was
sitting there with
excited
my
for.
eye closed and I was like peeking out the door and I could see them staring at me while the guy was right here sticking my ear. I was like,
I was lucky because he had me lay down because it's like inside my ear, so it was easier. So I didn't have to see that you guys were watching me get my piercing done. I was like, oh, I'm the only person in here is Kurt. I can pretend that I am alone.
Ostrich mode engaged.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's the thing.
it was fun.
The other thing I'm excited about, which is totally going to be on here like every week, is Christmas. Because it's coming up. It's the best holiday. It's amazeballs. And after we came back from getting our piercings, I totally made a gingerbread house today, which was super fun. And if you follow Kurt on Instagram, he posted a little video of us making our gingerbread house. So you should go check
Oh,
it out.
that's so cute.
Yep, I'm
The
excited about
only
my
time
gingerbread
I've
house.
ever built a gingerbread house, it fell apart 6 seconds later.
Oh, that's so sad. Yep, ours is really big and it's holding together. It looks pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of it this year.
Yeah, it's
Totally
pretty cool.
killed the gingerbread family living in.
Yeah.
Our kid ate the gingerbread
lost
family.
I lost my license and like I'm not allowed to work in that gingerbread town ever again.
There was a huge lawsuit, had to be settled out of court.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing Kurt put on here. So, Kurt,
Romance! I am excited about romance.
I don't
Okay,
know how
so-
this is relevant, but as your wife, I'm very excited
Yeah.
that you're excited about romance.
So this is it's not what you think. So on December 15th at 8 p.m. we are going to do, our topic will be on romance in RPGs.
Yay.
And I have a very special guest that is going to be joining us.
Yay,
Oh, that's
special
why you're
guest.
excited about it. I was like, this is episode 30 and you've never been excited.
So to be clear, you are excited about romance and your encounter with another woman,
Yeah, but don't say it like that.
and your missus is 6 inches away from you right now. Yeah.
That's
Right? Like, you're there.
you're reading into this the
9
wrong way.
And so will everyone else. But by the way, Gordon, or I should say Nightson, sorry. Either way.
Oh,
Cat's out of the bag. What are you doing?
Yeah.
God damn
You're-
it! That's it. I quit.
prepare to be doxxed.
You're calling out Kurt, but at the same time, I want to call you out for earlier accusing every single listener of playing WoW.
No, I was specifically looking at Gigett.
Yeah, but not the listeners aren't gonna know that.
I
It's-
totally said in the car on the
You've
way
all-
back from the piercing place today, I want to play WoW. So
Everyone's played WoW. You said, I think.
Most everyone has played WoW or knows someone who has. In fact, anyone who's listening to this probably has.
well, they
Well,
know
that
us
might be true.
and
Please,
we play. So
please write to us at pixelscandal@gmail.com. CounterStrike.com. Let us know if you've played WoW.
Send your hate
Well,
mail
if
in
you're-
regards to.
If you're dying to find out who that guest is, stay tuned to
Oh, yeah, we
our
totally
Facebook
got-
and Twitter and all that sort of stuff, because I will be sending out a little announcement in the upcoming days.
I'm so sorry.
But I am
off
very excited
topic.
about our guest.
Do we have enough space real estate for that many people?
I just won't call one of you people.
I figured that would be what happened. That's fine. I wanted to be sure now.
I'm sure someone's gonna be like, romance and RPGs. Yeah, I'm sitting that one out. So it's gonna be just fine.
No, I am very excited about this this guest as well. It's someone I think that will bring some clout to the subject, and can speak knowledgeably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
It sounded weird when I
Crushed
said
it.
You know, sometimes you say
Crushed
weirds and
it.
it sounds weird, and you're like, I don't know
for
if that's
sure.
right.
Words.
Anyway, she
Throw
can.
ads.
We'll be able to speak knowledgeably about the subject, and I think add a lot to the conversation. So I'm also very excited about that. Good job, Kurt.
Yeah.
So what have you guys
Oh.
played recently? Because I haven't played anything.
Well, a bunch of us just played Tales from the Loop.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Oh man.
that was good.
So I watched in. I'll let you promo it and then.
Oh,
Go
okay,
for it.
sure. So
It was fun being the audience for that today.
today was our first episode of Paper Scandal Side Quests, Tales from the Loop. That's our guest GM series, and we had Kadave from Happy Jack's RPG podcast. He came over and ran Tales from the Loop for us. It was so fun.
That was super awesome.
I got to
It
be
was a
a
lot of fun.
little
There's
jock
a clip
daredevil.
on the video that you could totally watch.
If you're unfamiliar with Tales from the Loop, it is a sort of rules light RPG written by Modifius. It's super easy to learn. It's set in the 80s that never was. Yeah, that's it right there. Role playing in the 80s that never was. So it's this like science fiction 1980s setting, kind of like Stranger Things, where you play kids from 10 to 15 who go on adventures and do mysteries.
And boy, did you.
Yeah, we did.
So I won't get into spoilers, seeing as it's all of 12 hours old.
Yeah.
Uh,
And really, guys, if you have not watched it, it's such a good. It's amazing. It was so good.
But- Yeah, I will just have to say the whole thing reminded me of an old South Park episode, the Omakawa Game Sphere, in which there was very clearly a plot point. Very clearly the whole way through, and interesting things and stuff happening. And every time something came out, yeah, but tell me what the robot's doing right now.
Oh, yeah, it was really funny. Like I was telling these guys after they went off air that I was laughing so hard at one point that like I got a pain in my side because I was laughing so hard. Like you guys, it was a really funny episode. It was, I mean, it was very entertaining, but it was also very funny.
And I'm going to have to ask, Handor, did you grow up in Mayberry? If that's what your definition of causing a scene and
What do you do to get in
Best.
trouble?
I'm causing trouble.
I think
I-
I think my favorite part was after that whole thing happened, which guys seriously go back and watch it. It's super good. Is when CA Dave says, "Oh, the cop checked the car to make sure you didn't like grab the shotgun or anything," which of course you had like that was not like when Oreztes was over there, like you had not even thought like, "Oh, grab the gun." You were like, "Nope." Like it just it was so good, guys.
it felt like an 80s kids movie.
It
And
did.
that was the most amazing part. And I could hand half of that or some of it to the system.
Right.
But so much of that was from the pacing that Kadave gave you guys, and then you guys' take on everything that came at you and
Yeah.
your interactions between each other. It literally it was Goonies. It
Yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I like that. They know it's gone. They just don't know where it's gone to.
That's how theft works.
That's how theft works. Oh, yeah, it was.
That
That
was-
was a lot of fun.
It was.
I
That
love
was a
it.
great time. I got to be Oreztes' brother Oreztes' brother,
Yeah.
Steve O'Sullivan, or Steve
Yeah.
Sullivan, and Sean O'Sullivan.
And what was your sister's name?
Sarisha.
Because you needed another S.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, you did a great.
Go ahead.
You really did a great job role playing that character too.
Oh man.
Sean,
The hyperness,
Sean was awesome.
man. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love Dave. He's awesome.
You guys have never played Brothers before, and it was really great. Like when you're like, "Yeah, get on my bike." It's just. Oh yeah. It was
I've had a little brother, and you got the I want to come along, and you're pissing me off perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, Kurt, you played Bubble Gumshoe again this week.
I did. I played the last of 3-part series. More of a 2-part series with some care gen. Yeah, the third game was really awesome. It was Bubble Gumshoe is it's a pared down version of Gumshoe, of the Gumshoe system, which is like an investigation game where
You've talked about it before.
Yeah, we've talked about it. And so the last game was all about in the second session our characters sort of like established who they had crushes on, because it's another high school mystery investigation kind of thing. So we all kind of figured out who we liked, and then the third game was all about trying to see if that was gonna work, and it worked for no one. Like no one. My character.
It's like Monster Prom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just not good at this.
Why
It
are
was
you so excited for a romance episode? You're horrible at it.
Right.
Maybe he's looking for tips.
Right. Yeah. Can someone tell me how to romance NP? That'd be great. In the second session, my character knocked another character into a bush.
I thought you were gonna say up.
No, there was someone coming with a shotgun, and so we like dove into a bush, and it was like, oh, like our faces are too close, and then it's like sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next episode, the next game was my character asked them out for burgers, because I was basically playing Jughead from Archie Comics.
Like you do in every game.
Yeah. Well, okay. And I was like, let's go out for burgers, but they didn't realize that was like a request for a date.
Oh.
And so they get there and they're like, oh, this is okay. But my character was also really dumb, so they were like, Dutch, and I was like, the language. So it was great. So we had this like super awkward like lunch date that did not go well, and
nice.
one of the characters was gay and into my character, but nobody knew yet, right? And so then there was that whole like I kept talking to them about like, oh man, isn't it rough when you have a crush on someone and you just don't know if they know, like, because I was trying to like bond with this other guy that I'm friends with.
Oh no.
But like metagame, I know that their character has a crush on me. But like,
so you're just an asshole.
But my character doesn't know. So like, that was the best part, was that I could inject that stuff and like phrase it in a way where it was something the character would say, but it was more juicy because I knew that character had a crush on me. So that was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and there was a mystery and we solved it.
Once again, the plot was actually the subplot.
Yeah, the plot was 100% the subplot. Yeah, and that was run by Lowell Francis, who's super awesome. That was a Gauntlet game. Yeah.
Cool.
Gauntlet-rpg.com if you're interested in the Gauntlet.
Cool.
Super fun games like that.
So Oreztes, what did you play this week?
I have been playing a lot of Dragon Quest XI. I don't think it's super new. I don't know how long it's been out, but it's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. It's a more traditional kind of JRPG. Turn-based, run around, do things, collect loot, craft stuff. The crafting actually reminds me a lot of kind of like, what was it? Like EverQuest 2 crafting. It's kind of weird. Yeah, but I liked it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm still working through it. I'm about 18, 20 hours in now,
Whew.
and there's still like 3 people I have to recruit.
Is that a PS
starts-
game or is that a
It's
PC
a
game?
PlayStation 4.
Oh, cool.
It's on the PC also. I'm playing it on PS4. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like a lot of kind of traditional RPGs. That's kind of what I grew up playing. Like
Nice.
the Final Fantasy, Chrono Triggers, stuff like that.
Is that the one that you wanted to couch co-op?
No, that is Dragon Crown.
Oh,
It's
okay.
all the Dragon games.
This is Dragon Quest.
Oh, very different games.
very different
Very
games.
different game.
Yeah.
You have
Same dragon.
I'm so sorry. Yes, same dragon.
yeah. Like I have his crown. Now I'm going on his quest.
Yeah.
Ah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
beautiful.
Well, cool. Let's move into our spotlight topic, which is presented tonight to us by Nightson. We're going to be talking about mods in video games. So, Nightson, what is a mod?
So a mod is usually a community creation. It is a fan of the IP or the game making a modification to the code in some way, shape, or form to change some aspect, and that could be making a gun do more damage, adding a brand new gun, or an entire quest chain to a game,
Making a gun look like a cat.
making a gun look like a cat,
What game
or a
is
gun that
that?
shoots cats.
I mean, that's base Portal 2, not Postal 2.
I was going to say, Portal 2 doesn't have cat guns.
No. Actually, it's not really a gun. You use a cat as a silencer on an assault rifle. So it's not technically the same thing.
Oh.
No, I totally saw a video and it was a dude running around with a cat and it was like
Oh,
and
yeah.
then to reload you turn the cat around and pet its face and then do it back and it's like but you're holding the cat's feet and you're like
What game was that?
I have no idea.
Oh, my Lord. That would be a mod. Okay.
Yeah.
Very-
I hope that's a mod.
Cat gun mod.
All
I
right.
don't know.
not
I
a
kind of
mod.
hope that's an actual game, and I would love to see the full game
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, Kurt,
Yeah.
you're going to have to go find that for
I
us.
guess I
gotta
have
be
to find
some-
that now.
Yeah, it's got to be something weird, like what is that, Dragon Warrior or whatever, or like maybe Just Cause or something, just something out there.
I was gonna say Just Cause, Grand Theft Auto.
So, what are some of the purposes for using mods?
It's called Cat Strike.
Okay, fair enough.
Right on the nose.
Yeah. So a lot of people develop for any number of reasons. They release these things because they think something should be different, or they want to take their own spin on things. They want a cat gun in their game, and it is just not being provided by the developers.
Mhm.
And so all of us normal people who don't have the time, effort, or creativity or skills to actually create them can find these on the internets and add them to our games. And depending on the size of the game or how there might be hundreds or thousands of mods. You look at any Bethesda game and you will be drowned in the options
Mhm.
of what you can do.
Yeah.
And so it's all about customizing your experience. Yeah, that is 100% correct. Any game that's going to survive, like any single player game that's going to survive past its one playthrough, needs mods.
Yeah.
You look at a game like Skyrim, which is still, selling copies and still like on the most played, like the top plays of Steam, and that is because of an incredible modding community.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the all the Star Wars mods for Skyrim.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about mods, I usually think about like in WoW the different like mods and stuff that you
Like
use.
UI mods.
Oh,
Yeah.
UI customization. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is actually a pretty big aspect. Because some games, especially multiplayer games, do lock down what you can and can't access.
Right.
You saw that through the development of WoW, where it used to be a lot more open-ended. Then they're like, okay, this is absolutely ridiculous. We need to make this.
Well, I think
Auto
it's interesting
decurs.
that they kind of like started to incorporate some of the stuff that was mods into the game itself as they started
Mhm.
to come out with later editions of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that most active dev teams keep an eye on the mod scene and go, that is a really good idea. Or in some cases, that is such a good idea and you are so good at doing it, I'm going to snatch you up.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
We're gonna send you a cease and desist, and you're gonna come and work for us.
You look at games like Dota,
Mm-hmm.
which literally was spawned from a handful of guys making a Warcraft 3 mod, a map, years
Right.
ago. And it has spawned League of Legends.
An entire genre of games.
Yeah. Well, that team went on to League of Legends, Dota, Champions of Norath, which nobody has heard of, and probably Blizzard Dota, as it was previously known. But I don't know.
Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Storm. I only remember
Blizzard Dota.
Blizzard Dota.
They literally that was what they advertised it as at BlizzCon. The hubris of that was entertaining, nothing else.
That's
Blizzard
really funny.
Dota.
Blizzard Dota. Wow, that's really funny.
I mean,
And then
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say how like crazy it is to me that like League, you know, the number one e-sport for what, like 4 years, 5 years, something like that, was
Yeah.
basically a fleshed out version of a mod from Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Like that trips me out.
A game that's designed around building up a army and fighting against another guy's army, instead taking that concept and just having a single unit that you move around the map and use powers, which was an entire subgenre of games of these custom maps in Warcraft 3 or even in StarCraft.
Mm-hmm.
But that one was one that really latched on and everyone was really big into, and it went well.
Now, wasn't CounterStrike also a mod?
Yeah.
Is it CounterStrike?
Yeah, Counter-Strike originally was a Half-Life
Yeah.
Oh, really?
1.
Yeah.
I don't know if it, like, whether or not you want to call it a mod or not. I'm not sure about its exact history, but it was brought in, like, at some point in development, Valve did just buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that.
Daisy was like a mod of Arma or something like that.
Yeah, Daisy was an Arma mod that sold more copies of Arma 3 than Arma did. And then he ended up getting bought out by that company to make his own game, his own, like, Daisy standalone.
Yep.
Unfortunately, by the time they were actually able to get it out and semi-bug free, I say semi because I don't even know if they managed that successfully or not, the genre had already been filled with
H1Z1.
800 different other options.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the topic of like Counter-Strike, most of those like source mods were the same way. Like Team Fortress started out the same way.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
There was two.
All I can think of right now. Is
I
like,
beat you by like 2 seconds, or depending on the Twitch delay, you might have died.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, like those mods that go on to become either games or genres or sort of take over the scene for a little while, compared to the like things like Minecraft mods that don't really define a genre but make the game playable or make the game interesting.
They certainly extend the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely extend the life
I
because
think
I
that's
think
like more of a type of categorization is like total conversion versus like just an add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a total conversion would be like, one of those mods, I feel. Like generally they're kind of like, we're going to take this game and just use it as a base and just completely replace everything. Add new assets, new music, new quests, new everything. So it's like a completely separate game. But yeah, like Minecraft is just those add-on packs or mod packs are just like, here's, 400 mods that all do different things.
Oh yeah. Blake Ryan in the chat mentions Baldur's Gate 2 had a mod called
Darkest Day
Darkest Day.
was amazing.
Yeah, which like added tons of content to the game, and
Which is actually leads me into my next point, which is the community patch, which Darkest Day is kind of an example of that. But you find a lot of older games where the devs just can't support a game anymore, and you will have teams who flat out release patches to the game and actually make it work.
Yeah.
What was it? Vampire game.
Vampire the Masquerade?
Bloodlines.
oh,
Bloodlines.
Yeah.
It's unplayable. It's not worth playing at all. It's an incredible game, but you can't play it. You literally need to go get the community patch to fix all the bugs in the game.
Well, isn't that an issue with the new operating systems because it was designed for like Windows 95 or something? And so you can't, without the community patch, you just flat out can't play it on like the faster processors or.
That might be a newer one, but I remember even back in like the XP days having that problem.
Okay.
yeah.
So how much do we actually see that where like the community ends up like taking like, oh, let me take this baby of a game and fix it because it wasn't playable the way the devs dropped it.
Neverwinter Nights. That's another great example of that. You see it a lot in the older games. You don't see much of it anymore because, we discussed this a couple weeks ago with games as a service. It's a lot rarer for a game to be flat out abandoned anymore.
Right.
It feels like it's been happening a lot recently, but yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, it
we're-
happened to us.
We're
Shit,
potentially
wah, wah.
we're potentially looking at seeing that happen. We'll see what where it goes, but Fallout 76 is on the brink of potentially needing some serious
Yeah.
saving from its community.
From itself.
Well, the
yeah,
developers are.
that's
That
a
actually
mess.
that brings a pretty good point though. Bethesda games have historically been saved by their modding communities. They have been
Yep.
like, I love every single thing they put out. I've been a long-standing fan of the Elder Scrolls saga, of the Fallout games. Love them all. They're a buggy mess. They are an absolute nightmare that are barely holding together. And it's always been a kind of a community joke where they're so good that we're willing to look past the bugginess.
Yeah.
But that's where the modding community has stepped in time and time again to fix this crappy UI, to fix weird bugs, to just fix a lot of the problems that they either won't or can't resolve.
Yep.
So.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to add, and Fallout 76 hasn't allowed that yet. They've talked about maybe like that is on the horizon, doing modding, but right now they've been there has been a couple like community based mods released, but there has been no announcement from them saying whether or not you're going to get banned for using them.
Yeah, but the mods that are out so far, and just because of Fallout 76 and the quality of the game that's out right now, I use the mod. I don't really care if I get banned.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because it's like the mod is like it shows you. The mod I use, the main one I use, is the component mod. So whenever you mouse over a thing, it tells you what that thing breaks down into. And it's like, yeah, you could tag things, and if you mouse over a thing, it's like got a little magnifying glass. It's like, hey, this will break down into rubber. It's like, I don't care. What else does it break down into? So the mod I use is like, hey, this is a thing. It'll break down exactly into aluminum and ballistic fiber. It's like, ooh, I want that. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
That's
There's another component too that somebody made within, I think it was 2 or 3 days after the first beta. A developer created a menu within the Pip-Boy that allowed you to access, so that food was separate from aid and water and all that stuff,
yeah.
and
better
where your
inventory
aid was
mod.
aid, huh?
It's called the better inventory mod. Yeah.
Yeah, better inventory. Yeah, that was made within like 3 days of
Yep.
beta.
Use that one too.
Yeah, it's it's.
I mean, a lot of times, this is the problem with Fallout 76 is that it's a multiplayer game, right? It's an MMO. So if they can't, for balance sake, right? Like they're on the hook for they can't let people use a bunch of the mods that sort of make that extends things like Skyrim and Minecraft, because they change the game to such a degree that like you're not even playing the same game as the other people anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's just not possible in a multiplayer game like that. I mean, there's quality of life mods, which are like UI stuff, better inventory, but
what a lot of people are arguing in the, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the Fallout 76 community, or even let alone the Fallout community in general, but what a lot of the Fallout 76ers are saying is the game itself has been promoted as an MMO from the start, and a lot of people expected that the aspect of PvP would be a very different thing, and that would be optional. And the running in to other players would kind of be this back and forth constant, or there would be the potential for selling and buying between other players in this game. But when you log into Fallout 76 and you play 4 hours. I kid you not. This is not an exaggeration. You play for 3-4 hours, and unless you're playing with a party, you're not running into anybody. You're not.
Right.
And to be honest, what the funny thing is, if they hadn't been dead set on this being a massively experience where it is random people and they have to be concerned about balance, I guarantee you that many of the biggest gripes that people have with that game would have been fixed by modders by this point.
Oh yeah.
I know that. Yep.
Like an encumbrance change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stash change. The
maneuverability. There'd be NPCs in the world offering quests.
Oh yeah, there'd be quest mods.
Yeah, and especially a way for one of the big things too is a way for people to exchange caps or items or just to have some sort of encounter, to feel like they paid $60 for a Bethesda game being promoted as an MMO, right? Nobody's getting that experience. No one is.
Yeah.
So if you can mod it so that when you run into somebody else's shelter and no one's ever there, but you can set up a shop there, or you can do this or you can do that. You say, I want these items. I'm selling these items. Caps. And then now you're getting a little more, of a player-based economics and system. It's
and some interaction. That's what that whole multiplayer thing is supposed to be.
It's what it's supposed to be. That's the way it was advertised. That's what I think a lot of people paid the money for, to try to experience that side of what Bethesda was going to create. And I don't know.
I'm desperately waiting for somebody to come up with a offline server patch. And then
that's gonna be one of the first things as soon as they allow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do a conversion and just make Fallout 76 into a single player game, and then I'll be happy.
I'd do 4-player co-op.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is really what they should have put it out as.
That's what the game ended up being.
I wanted Borderlands.
Yeah.
That's really what I wanted, and it's unfortunate, but
Oh man, and yeah, let's not even. What I just realized, the XP, the experience, and loot system in that game is abysmal. It's abysmal. Oh. Okay. Anyways,
I think we're getting a little off.
Yeah, we're a little off topic from mods.
So Batman in the chat is saying, is it that people expect too much these days? Each game or movie does not have to be revolutionary. It can just be entertainment. So, do you guys feel?
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm still paying $60 for entertainment, and it depends. It's on a case-by-case basis. To me, Fallout 76 was not $60 entertaining. I did not get a $60 worth of time from value out of that.
And think one of the things mods offer us though is that it allows some of that revolutionary design to be crowdsourced.
Yeah.
Because there's brilliant people out there in the community that aren't necessarily working in that specific industry or hired by these companies, and they may have some really great things to put out there that aren't being seen
Right.
when you don't allow mods.
Beyond that, a lot of cases where a lot of weird or unfortunate decisions make it to an actual game, that might not be the devs at all. That might be the penny pinchers or the marketing people or any number of people that the developers or the designers are beholden to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The individual modder, once they get those tools, they don't answer to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal is not a love child of Blizzard. It's a cash grab by Activision.
Well,
So-
I mean, I guess to answer your question, does every game have to be a revolution? I think every game should at least be judged on what it says it is on the box, and I don't think Fallout 76 is what they said it was going to be.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not saying it has to be a revolution. Like it could have been just a
Reskin
multiplayer
of something
game,
else,
but it
yeah.
didn't look like a multiplayer game based on what I've seen.
Right. So let's be very clear here, right? So what does it have to be revolutionary? The very concept of our entire spotlight topic destroys that claim that is something that we do desire, because we are admonishing and glorifying modifying games that are decades old because we still love those games. They're not game changing. They're not revolutionary whatsoever. They're
first of its kind or any of that. Yeah.
no, yeah, they're just fantastic games, and
They're
we
easy
love
enough to improve.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
and to just make little slight changes that keep them playable.
So kind of moving along with our topic here,
Sure.
what do we see in the difference between like free mods and paid mods? Like what do you feel like we get out of the different kinds of mods?
Well, paid mods was an experiment by Bethesda 2 years ago, give or
Talking
take.
about the horse armor? Or
No,
the
I'm talking
That's
specifically
DLC.
that
the
through
Skyrim
game.
thing on the
They
Steam.
offered, on Steam. They were paid mods. It was an experiment that really wasn't thought out 100% of the way through. And it really fell down to anyone could get into it, and so you found a lot of people who would make a mod, distribute a mod, sell it for $1. It's like, hey, just here, tip jar kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I take that mod and re-upload it under my name and sell it for $5.
Yeah.
And
That's
you
what
had a whole lot of people doing that, and so it just fell apart. It's an idea that probably is worth exploring, because I would love a formal system to allow these people who are spending their time, their blood, sweat, and tears to actually get something back.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of like Minecraft mods that we've spent hundreds of hours, dozens of hours playing together, that if we had been able to support the person that created that with dollary dues, we totally would have, because their creation was amazing, and there just really isn't a good system in place to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Direwolf deserves my $60 dues more than.
Yeah. So here's the thing: there was a massive explosion within Minecraft, and I think this might have happened before Bethesda decided to start selling mods on Steam. Between the modders that we know very well, which are not necessarily Direwolf, because he doesn't mod himself, but he's a
FTB
big
and-
proponent to putting the mod names out there. He's really good friends with, and I can't think of any other names right now, even though I'm subbed to probably 100 of them on Twitch.
Like what, the
It
modders
always-
themselves?
It
or
always
just other
fails you
content
when it's time to
creators?
think of them.
No, the modders themselves.
Tima's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of those guys, they went through a massive implosion within the community because people were stealing their content. And all they said was, look, we love Minecraft. We're going to continue to create mods for it, and we're going to continue to update it every single time they come out with a new, what do they call that, Nightson? The screenshot or whatever, whenever they had to update.
Snapshots, yeah, that's it.
So they would continue. They say, look, we'll continue to update. As long as when you use a mod or you put it in your mod pack, you say and credit the creator of the mod pack or the individual mod. Well, you ended up having people, laymen's like you and I, develop mod packs and then post your name on it and never give credit. So they turned around and started putting some money and some donations in there.
Right.
Whereas those guys that did the mods that you saw Direwolf do for Minecraft, they never asked for a dime. They never did.
Right.
And it got into it, and it actually became into, like, I believe, a pretty nasty legal battle.
Where the people curating the mod packs were charging or asking for donations, but the people who were writing the mods that were in those mod packs didn't see any of that?
That never... Well, the thing is they never asked for anything.
Yeah,
and now they have to claim rights to materials, right? So
'cause someone else is getting money for it.
Intellectual property. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad because it's like these people that are creating really cool mods are doing it because they love the game and they want to put something out there for the community to play. And so when people do kind of make that cash grab, and they're not the ones that created it, it's like, this person created this really cool thing and was totally not even caring if they got anything in return. And so then it kind of becomes sad that it's like, we shouldn't have to go to the lengths of court cases and all this kind of bullshit because, somebody's trying to make a cash grab for something that they didn't create themselves. It's just kind of sad to see that happen.
But it is nice. Like Patreon is a perfect example, though, that like they are giving a much more reliable form of supporting these people. Like previously, you might have something. Yeah. But you see where previously a lot of mods might have had a click here to download to donate to me with PayPal. And the average users know that that is a horrible, scary concept, and I'm not doing PayPal because it's the devil, and putting money on the internet is weird.
Yeah.
But putting my credit card into a trusted website and
a secure
giving
website,
giving $1 to Patreon every month is a much. It feels safer and easier to do.
Right.
Well, it's more convenient because with PayPal, it's like I've got to go in, I've got to, attach my PayPal to my payment method. I've got to send over my payment, whatever. With Patreon, it's like a subscription-based thing. So it's like, I'll do $1 repeating every month to this guy. Why not? You don't even notice $1 missing. And then you get like other rewards. Stuff like patrons, they call you out and they're like, hey, thanks for supporting me, guy. You're awesome. It's like, oh, yeah, I did a thing. Awesome.
Yeah.
I the thing about Patreon for me is that it feels more transparent, right? With PayPal, it feels like when you just see a PayPal button, you're like, oh, that could be anybody, right? Like that's I don't know who this is going to. I don't see anything. With Patreon, you get a little more of a
feels professional.
Yeah, it feels professional, like you're seeing the thing. So yeah. And
people are gonna be held to a much bigger standard now. Contributing money, the way internet's evolving, right? I just saw a thing on Philip DeFranco where there was the whole scandal of the couple that donated money through, I believe, PayPal to a supposed homeless man, and come to find out the three of them were in on it. They supposedly donated $100,000. The whole thing was fake. They ended up, or not donating, but people donated, right? People donated to this. Might have been a GoFundMe or whatever it was. The short of it is that it was all a scam. it took them like 4 or 5 months to discover that the homeless guy wasn't even,
Yeah,
you
I saw
know,
that story too.
yeah. And so I think what's going to happen is you're going to see a whole new set of rules when it comes to donating and the governance of that cash being transferred back and forth, and how it's watched.
Well, and
Right.
I think when that translates back to like mods and stuff is that, you know, if you're looking to get paid for it, then you should set it up in a legitimate way and have people purchase your mod from your whatever, you know, your website or whatever. And if you're just putting it out there for the community to use, you know, take the steps to protect yourself for your intellectual property, but still put it out there for people to get to enjoy and you know, be cool, people in the
Yeah.
in the community. Enjoy each other's cool made stuff and don't be assholes about it. So
Yep.
Yep.
yeah, so cool. Well, that kind of brings us to our hour. Does anybody have final thoughts they wanted to throw in there about mods?
On the free versus paid thing, I much prefer free mods versus. Well, you're doing free versus paid, as in like we were just talking about. I was reading that and thinking more versus like mods versus DLC.
DLC official.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like yeah, official DLC. Typically the quality's a little bit higher, but I much prefer free or paid like community created mods because they are not held by the same restrictions and regulations that the companies themselves are.
Yeah.
They get to be more
Um,
creative with the stuff, and there's a
yeah.
lot less like bureaucracy behind the creation of it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like, Bethesda comes out with horse armor, modders come out with lightsabers and force powers.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in tonight. Kurt, do you want to tell the people where they can find us?
Yeah. If you enjoyed the show, you can find out more information by going to pixelscandal.com, or you can watch us live twitch.tv/pixelscandal. You can also find our videos on YouTube by searching Pixel Scandal, or on our Twitch. Or if you'd like to find everything, it's all at pixelscandal.com. If you'd like to email the show because you want us to talk about Star Wars or pineapple on pizza or anything weird like that, remember, keep it positive, and we might talk about your thing. You can email pixelscandal@gmail.com to tell us what you want to talk about, or if you have questions, we might answer them on the show. And then if you'd like to engage with us on social media, you can find us Twitter @pixelscandal, just Pixel Scandal. It's everywhere. And if you want the show as an audio format, you can find us on iTunes or Spotify, and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, tune in live 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday nights, on twitch.tv/pixelscandal.
And come watch Dungeon World next Saturday, because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I make no such promises.
I'll promise.
I do.
I'll
I'm
promise
gonna
it's
be
awesome.
totally sweet.
See, that's why
Totes.
we're best friends, because
For totes,
we're
bro.
awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.